Oh. I basically held this upside down and it started dripping out and I was like, what is going on? Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you're new, then welcome. This channel is all about makeup and all about beauty. Today, my video is all about how to create a natural looking base. But I just very quickly wanted my little pup Nico to say hello to you guys. Look, Nico, he's so cute. He's kind of not used to being in my videos. Okay, all right, come on, Nico. Just look there, look. Oh, he's looking a bit scruffy. He needs a little bit of a brush. But yeah, he's my little pup. He's really cute. He's just woken up. So yeah, my video is all about my foundation base today and how to create a really natural looking foundation base, because it really is easy. And I wanted to show you how to get your skin still looking like skin and still have that kind of really nice, natural, flawless look to it. So let's head into the video, but before I forget, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button so that you never miss a video. And you can also catch me on Instagram where you can watch my stories for daily beauty news and PR unboxing. Let's jump straight into the video. So I don't have anything on my skin other than my moisturizer and my primer. I'm gonna move in with my concealer. Now I'm showing you my kind of like natural base. So I'm not necessarily gonna go into my brows and eye makeup and lips and everything. I just wanna stick to how I do a natural base. And this isn't necessarily like a barely there makeup look. It's just a natural look. So I'm going to start with my concealer. I'm using the CoverFX POWERPLAY concealer and my shade is G Medium 2. So that's kind of like, I think it's golden. Yeah, it's golden medium 2. So I'm just going to apply a couple of dots up here. And I like using this concealer when I want a natural finish because I feel like it's not overly heavy. Like usually, sometimes I would use the Tarte Shape Tape because I like that kind of like more full coverage look, or that medium to full coverage look. This is more natural, so it literally just kind of like melts into the skin. So I'm just buffing this in. So I'm just pressing this in with my beauty blender. Literally just gonna press it in like this. That. You can already see how that's just, all it really does is it helps to kind of like even my skin tone. So that's really what I want because I have that kind of discoloration, darkness around my eye area. So it's not really that I'm trying to cover, you know, like spots or anything. I'm just trying to get that really nice even skin tone so that it looks like it's part of my face and not completely disconnected, like these two dark circles. So I'm just doing the same under here and I'm just going to buff this in. Just like that. My dark circles are gone, or more or less. I think my eyelids are pretty much done, so I'm going to kind of set that now with some powder. And the powder I'm going to use is, I'm just going to go in with my Laura Mercier. I haven't used this in a while. So this is the Laura Mercier translucent powder. And I'm going to press this in. Now I know most people kind of think like, you know, when you're pressing it in, it means that you're baking. That is not necessarily the case. So I'm literally just going to press this in with my puff, not my beauty blender. Now baking is when you press it in and then you can see like there's a lot of powder there and then you let that sit for a little while. So you're letting it bake. Now what I'm doing is I'm just pressing it in and I'm literally just going to immediately dust away the powder. That is done now for me, so I don't need to go back to that. My eyelids are covered. I feel like they now look part of my face. There's not like these two dark circles there, and I just feel like it's just skin now. It's not too dark. So now that that part is done, I'm just gonna move on to my foundation. Now there are a few different foundations that I use for a natural kind of look. I think today I'm going to go with something which I feel like is quite easy for everyone to get, because I don't want to use something because sometimes there's like medium or full coverage foundations that I use and I use them in a way which it makes it look like it's natural because of the way that I apply it, but I don't really want to go for that. I want to use something which genuinely is quite a natural foundation. So I think let's go with the Shiseido Self-Refreshing Foundation. I haven't used that in a while. So I'm using the shade Oak, and all I'm going to do is literally just apply one pump to the back of my hand, and I'm going to get my beauty blender and start buffing this into my skin. So literally I'm applying this all over, and you know, usually you would see me contouring loads. Like I would be going in with my light shade, my medium shade, and then my dark shade, and then there's just a whole load of contour, and then I go over with my foundation. So this is my kind of like natural base that I go to when I just want something a bit more simple. How I'm applying it is I'm literally just dabbing it in. So I'm literally just pressing, there you go, I'm just pressing into the skin. I think what I really love about this foundation is it genuinely looks kind of like fresh on the skin even later on in the day. And I have actually done a video on this, so you can, I'll put the banner up above so that you can head over and add that to your list to watch. But it's on this foundation and on genuinely how really good this foundation is. It's so good. And it seems to be the only foundation I don't really need to mix in with another foundation. I feel like it's really great for like light coverage, but I also feel like it's buildable. So if you want more coverage, you can kind of keep building it up. And you know, when people say like a natural finish, for me, I want a natural finish, but at the same time, I do want some decent coverage. So if that's you, this is perfect for you. You can see now we've got like that foundation on and it's not too heavy. I don't feel like we really need more foundation, but what I do feel that we need is we just need a little bit of kind of brightness in certain areas. So I'm going to go in with my concealer. I'm using my NARS. Which one is this? I'm not going to say it. As usual, I never say this on any videos. Literally, I'm just going to put the name above. It's the NARS Creamy Radiant, or Radiant Creamy Radiant Creamy Concealer. And I'm literally just going to apply a very small amount to brighten a few areas. So let me just tell you now, because I feel like I've got this hair here. Let me just explain to you before I put this on, why I'm applying this, like in which areas I'm applying it. So this is where I can see some darkness. I can see a little bit of darkness here, a little bit here, and I can definitely see some darkness around here still that I want to brighten up. So it isn't so much to cover up anything, it's to brighten up that area. So what I'm going to do is just literally just do a few dots, and the aim is, look, no one's going to see, no one's going to watch you putting your foundation or your makeup on. So it's not like anyone's sitting there counting how many layers you put on. It's about how it looks afterwards. So I'm going to just put a little bit here and then some here. So that's where I feel like I have some darkness. I'm really not concerned about contouring or anything, so that I can do afterwards with kind of like bronzer and have some blush on. But right now I feel like that is more than enough in terms of brightness. So what I'm going to do is just kind of like buff that in. So I'm going to get my beauty blender again, and I'm using the tip of the beauty blender. And this is where I'm going to let this section here dry a little bit, because I feel like if I let it dry a little bit, it doesn't all get like absorbed by the sponge. It's much easier for me to kind of move around on the face. So this area here, I'm just going to very lightly buff that in. Okay, same here. And I'm gonna do the same here. And you'll really see how this helps to brighten up. I mean, already, I feel like that's made a difference. I don't feel like I really need concealer anywhere else on my face. I feel like that is kind of like it. I feel like my base is more or less done. Yeah, I think that's done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to set that, but my under eye area I'm going to set with a different powder. Now I'm going to use the Huda Beauty Easy Bake in Pound Cake. Usually I use banana bread, but I'm using Pound Cake for my under eyes because it's just a little bit brighter. I'm actually going to go in with my own powder puff. I know that I'm using the Baby Bake and it has this little sponge here, but I kind of like want to have a bit more control over the distribution of this powder. So what I'm going to do is, before I dip that in, I need to go back in with my beauty blender and just make sure that there are no lines that are set. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my powder puff. So you can see this is not as yellow as what banana bread is. It's a lot kind of brighter and whiter. Okay, so you can see I've got that powder on. Next I'm going to go in with my NARS. It's a pressed powder and it's in the shade Mountain, and I'm literally just going to get my Real Techniques brush and I'm just going to dust away this powder. So I'm going to go into my powder and then dust this away. So now that I've done that, my eye area is kind of like done, but what I want to do now is just press, well not press, like kind of just set the foundation on the rest of my face. So for that I'm going to use my Real Techniques setting brush again. I was going to use a different brush, but I've dropped it, so we'll just have to go without that. So now I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder in medium, and I'm getting my Real Techniques brush, and I'm just going to apply this in certain areas where I want it to be a little bit brighter. I just want that area to be a bit more kind of, just so that my face doesn't look so flat. So I'm just applying this to my forehead here, down the nose, chin area, and just up here. I was going to use a bigger brush, but I dropped it. And here. Okay, next I'm going to use the Laura Mercier Loose Setting Powder in Medium Deep. And this is like a really nice bronze shade. This is what I would use to kind of like set my cheekbones. So you know, if you remember, I haven't actually put any powder on my cheekbones. So what I usually do is use a little bit of this. I'm using the Hourglass dual-ended blush brush thing. I can never figure out what this one exactly is, but it's so good. So I'm going to use this on my cheekbone. So I've got some of the powder and I've put it into the lid, and I'm basically just getting the product onto the brush and then tapping it once on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to go in to my cheekbone. So what I'm doing is just pressing, because obviously I've got can you see already I've got foundation on underneath, and this whole area hasn't been set. So this is actually being set with this translucent setting powder, but this setting powder has some color in there, so it's going to kind of like darken that area for me a little bit, so that I get some kind of, it gives like it's got a very subtle glow in there. Oh god, you can see it. I didn't think you could see it from there, but you can. It's really nice. So it almost like, I feel like you don't really need to put a highlighter with this, because I feel like this kind of gives you that really nice glow. So there, we've done our cheekbones. You can already see how that's really nicely contoured, and I'm just going to apply this just into the hairline to give me some warmth and to give me some dimension. So I'm getting the same powder, but I'm using my Fenty 200 brush, and I'm just gonna very lightly contour my nose. Now it's got to be done a lot lighter than what I usually would do it, because obviously that I can get away with more because of wearing more foundation. I'm just going to very quickly do my brows and lips and just put some mascara on, and then come back so we can finish off my base. Okay, so my brows are done, I've put some mascara on, done my lips, and I really wanted you to see what this base looks like once I've done those little bits, because it's kind of like dressing up. Like, you can't really tell until you've got everything on how well that little bit looks, or that little feature looks. So I wanted you to kind of like see that the base looks natural, it doesn't look heavy, and you can still see my skin. It's not like, you know, cakey or anything, and it doesn't look like I've contoured loads, but I still feel like it's a nice natural look for the daytime or any time whenever you want to kind of like wear this look. Now you can kind of finish off with other little bits. Now another reason why I wanted you to wait and like for me to finish off the base is because sometimes I feel like you need to let your base kind of settle down a little bit, because if you initially go all in with like your bronzer, your blush, the highlight, everything, I feel like it's all a bit too much, and you haven't really let that foundation kind of sink into your skin and your natural oils to come through. So while I've been doing my brows, my mascara and my lips, I feel like my foundation has had time to kind of like settle down and really kind of like, you know, get to grips with my skin. So that's why I wanted to kind of apply my blush and things afterwards, so that you can really see how much you can apply, and you can see that very, very subtle dewiness come through. which is there. I like it very subtle. So I'm gonna go in with some blush now, and because I didn't go OTT with my setting powder, I can actually use a liquid blush. So I don't have to really worry so much, because usually when I apply like a medium or full coverage base, I feel like I can't really go in with liquid blush because you can't really apply liquid on top of like a powder set foundation. It's just gonna go really wrong. You just should not do that. So I think the blush that I'm gonna use, I'm gonna go for, let me see. Yeah, I feel like this. I'm gonna go in with the Rare Beauty Liquid Blush in Bliss. Oh. I basically held this upside down and it started dripping out, and I was like, what is going on? Yeah, maybe don't do that. I just assume everything's drip free. I think I'm gonna mix this blush with another one. Okay, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put it on the back of my hand. So I'll put a little bit of that. It's quite pale, this color. So I think I wanna go in, yeah, let's go in with this. I'm gonna go in with NARS Liquid Blush in Luster, one of my favorite. Such a nice peachy shade. I love it. I'm gonna mix the Rare Beauty Bliss with NARS Luster. Let's see how this goes. And I'm gonna use my beauty blender. I'm gonna use the back of my beauty lip blender. Literally just buffing the back of it into the back of my skin, back of my hand. Do that little smile there. There you go. I know it looks like I'm really hitting my face hard. I'm not. Oh, that's so nice. I love these blush shades, and mixed together, they're even better. I'm loving that blush, both of those mixed together. So now, even more so, like, I don't know if you can see that come through, but it just looks a little bit like, kind of like rosy. Like, not in your face, but if you come up close, it's there. It's really nice and kind of like that nice, what? My words did not come out there. It's kind of like that nice, dewy blush look. That makes sense. So now I'm going to go in with a little bit of highlight. I'm going to use my Stila Heaven's Hue highlight in Kitten, and I'm just going to apply a very small amount just on the tip of my nose and just on the top of the bridge of the nose. Just in case you didn't know this, by the way, if your skin is slightly tacky, so it's not kind of like you can see that dewiness there, right? Like, I personally don't even think I really need highlight. I'm going to apply a very small amount. If your skin is kind of tacky and you go in with a powder highlight, it's gonna stick so well. So go with the smallest amount. Like, I'm literally just gonna, I'm looking down because Nico is sleeping. Oh, he's just popped his head out because he heard his name. I'm so sorry to wake you. So there you go. Just the tiniest bit. I think that is more than enough. I don't want too much shine going on. So that is my natural foundation. I was gonna say base, some people call it base, but that is the way that I do my base, in a very natural way. Like, I feel this is super natural, like, and you saw there wasn't even much that went on. I didn't actually apply too much concealer either. The concealer's only really around here and a few dots in places to brighten the area more than cover it, and then just one layer of foundation. And that is how I do my natural base. So how did you find that tutorial? I hope it was very easy for you guys to follow, and I hope you can see just how easy it is and how little makeup you actually need to create that natural finish, but it's just about that really strategic placement of the products. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button so that you never miss a video. Until the next video, take care, and I'll see you soon.